Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of It's a Man's World. I'm Dario.
And I'm the Pickets man, Naik.
Forever Jason, as always.
Tonight we're stepping out of our box a little bit and we're going to deal with mind control on black men.
Mm-hmm. And when we come back, we're going to tell you all about it, or, well, from our perspective about it.
What Jason said. We're going to do that. And a whole lot more.
So stay tuned. We'll tell you what's up when we come back.
Bye.
Every year I'm searching for number one.
Excuse me, sir. Can I help you?
Yes, I found my number one. I'll take it.
The latest looks and the newest trends for home fashion is number one at Living Spaces, located on Old Pound Road.
But it would mean nothing. Without a woman or a girl.
And we're back, and it's still a man's world. And tonight's topic is mind control of our black men, Jason.
Yes.
And we're going to touch on it, touch on it from different angles, different perspectives, like Jason tried to say in our previous segment.
We're going to touch it from different angles, like Jason. All right, okay. Let me not interrupt, but go ahead.
No, that's fine. So we're going to deal initially with, mind control on the black men from the woman's perspective, how women control us and how society controls us. So what do you think? Are we being controlled subliminally?
Subliminally, I do think that we're being controlled by society. Society has its own undermining kind of rules that are basically set in place to keep us all in check. It's a real thing. It's not really tangible, but the policies that are put in place, the types of rules that we're told to adhere to. As independent that we say we are, we're very much still in the old colonial days.
Oh yeah.
And I really, well, no, I drink to that all the time. But I definitely do think that society gears us or tries to steer us in its own preconditioned paths, in a sense. In terms of the whole aspect of women, I mean, we do everything for women. We walk the way we talk, the way we walk.
We've mentioned. Episodes, someone did say we paid just for women.
Just for women?
No, we do. Everything that we do worth for appeal is what we do for women. And I do think that is a strong influence. It's a more direct approach in a sense, as opposed to the more subtle, brainwashing type of way that society pushes us and gears us to be. Jason?
Okay, I agree with you, but I'm also going to put a little ice on the cake. The way they train us in this society, they have given us a military mind of things. Basically, as we're going to school, look at it, as young people, as young men, especially how they tell us what we have to do, how to be, how society wants us to be. You don't say, okay, what do you want? No, they tell you, you need to be like this in order for society to accept you. You need to be an upstanding young man. What is really upstanding? Is it what I feel or what you want me to be? Am I supposed to just follow this book without question? Because if I do question, I get chastised. Why? And when we go to school, you notice they always have you set your desk in a straight row. Sit down, make sure that your desk is at a certain angle. Stay straight. Make sure, are we robots?
Yeah, good posture.
Oh, thank you very much. It's a military thing. But anyways, yes, I know, I realize. Yeah. So as Naik was saying, they still have us in this colonial sense. We are not soldiers, we're not robots, we're human beings. Everyone has their own mind, but they don't want that. Who's ever at the top wants you to do whatever they want. Especially like you were saying, women, if we say yes, they say no. And we have to go with that no, else doghouse it is.
Have to?
Have to. All right,
what do you think?
Oh, back to 9.
That's what Dario has to say about this.
All right, it's time for the truth. It's time for the truth. That's why I'm here every week. Call me the truth. So, it's
Okay,
It's
go on.
complex and it's complex and it's very simple. When you say society, when you say women, it's all the same thing because you have puppet masters pulling the strings, and what they put out in the media, what they put out social media, they put out in TV and videos and music videos, the mainstream, the pop culture right now, they have very few people more or less guiding the trends, and with those trends, they control everybody else. So you see now it's fashionable for men to wear women's clothing and it's okay.
Yeah,
it's kosher.
Like the dress.
Like the dress, but I mean it goes farther than that. I mean, and even the women are conditioned to like a certain type of guy. This is the type of man that you want. And they put it out there, they put it out in the media, they put it out on every episode of every show. Even the quote-unquote reality TVs have these characters. You can't call them anything but, because these are not real people.
Not everybody can be a Huxtable.
Well, I mean, but you don't have to be a Huxtable, but you don't have to be a Kardashian either.
That's true.
Everybody
Kanye is.
Kanye.
Come on.
I mean, that is a family that epitomizes how women control men. You can see that in that family. But I'm not going to digress too far into that specific family. But what they do is they put out, you can't even call it stereotype. Ever so often, every generation or two, they put out a cliche or a particular
hashtag.
Yeah, that they want everybody to follow. You have to call it a hashtag. So you have these guys now, and this is how you're supposed to dress. Because
Whatever's trendy.
If you don't dress like this, women are not going to want you.
You're nobody.
And we're single-minded and focused. We want to get that girl, and as a result, we condition ourselves to be that guy, even if you're not that guy. Take, for instance, the tendency of women to steer towards quote unquote the bad boy. Mm-hmm. The little
rebel.
thug, the little rebel. With the rebel, the Barney rebel. But with the tattoos everywhere, and all of this check on.
Pants.
No, I'm not. This is not me coming against your
self-expression.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But you can't help but see the obvious gravitation, the magnetism that these women have now to that quote unquote bad boy, even to their own detriment.
Also indeed.
And to be honest, the guys are not really like that. But they know they have to keep that image up.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you don't want to get...
Exactly, you're going to lose your credit.
Yeah.
So they're not, what you trying to say, they're not willingly going to the stores to buy the tight pants?
Dude, these guys, I mean, dude, these guys, you cannot tell me those pants are comfortable.
Didn't we say
They're
earlier?
not comfortable. They cannot
I would not know.
I wouldn't know either.
Leave me alone. But didn't we say earlier that we do everything for women? Didn't we say that?
Yes. I mean, we do.
But
I mean,
still coming and asking
no,
that question?
No. My thing is, right, at the end of the day, I always believe that if you're a unique individual, you walk to the beat of your own drum.
Yep.
You don't get pigeonholed into one specific form. You talk the way you want to talk. You do things the way you want to do things.
Don't we?
It is going to be a situation where it's either two things. Either you're going to be ostracized because of your behavior, or you're definitely somebody's going to see how you behave, try to be like you, or look at the way that you act and say, okay, I can emulate that dude. I like him not necessarily for a role model. That's a lot. That's a very, very heavy thing.
That's heavy.
That's a very heavy thing, because that role model thing kind of borders on the whole puppet master thing also, because you then lose your whole sense of identity with that. You so want to be like that particular person that you forget about who you are.
Who you support, who you really want to be.
Who you really want to be. So my thing is, right, it's cool to look at somebody. And I always tell people it's very easy for somebody to follow somebody's negative traits as opposed to following somebody who's doing something positive.
I've seen that.
It's always cool to be the one to pull the poster down. Yeah. But then when you're the one who's putting up the poster that's saying something,
come on, really?
the poster is saying something positive. The poster is talking about something, worthwhile.
Uplifting.
Right. And then everybody's looking at you like, oh, that's corny.
Yeah.
Or Wahamti. Or or he probably
and then the carbon copies get praised. Everybody that's dressed like everybody. I mean, you go out now, you literally see a rubber stamp. It's one guy after the next, and they're all wearing the same thing.
I'm just afraid that they're
all acting the same way.
Yeah,
even their stance. I mean, even the way they stand. Speaking of stance, I mean, this is a prime example. Look at every photograph of women posing. They have that one leg kicked up. Now you can't tell me that thing is comfortable. But they see everybody doing it, and everybody's brainwashed into I need to pose like this.
But see, that's,
also when they have this,
That's how they control you.
when
That's
they have
how
this
simple it
hand-based
is.
sign, the sign on their face and
They don't even know what the signs mean.
I'm saying.
They have no clue, and they're throwing up hand signs. They have no idea what these signs and symbols
I'm just
mean.
afraid that they're going to start procreating. Lord knows.
Well,
That's
then
just me.
it's too late.
That's just me.
They're already there.
I'm just afraid.
You're
And,
You're late.
and,
You are late.
and the thing about it is, I mean, really and truly, it's a weird situation where everybody needs to know that, you know, what their own self-worth is. And that's a big thing. And that's going to be one of our topics that we're going to talk about in a later show. But I think self-worth is very, very underrated right now.
I agree,
And it's
man.
very, very, you know, almost non-existent in today's society. And to me, society doesn't want you to express yourself
Nah.
the way you want to express
No.
yourself.
You're gonna get
You know?
locked up.
It's weird, you know. Some cultures they accept it. Some cultures, some societies, it's okay for you to be that way, for you to be expressive, for you to be flamboyant, and not look at it as a negative thing. But you know, that's just my take on it.
And I like your take on it. And
Yeah.
we're gonna elaborate more on that in just a few moments after we come from back these messages.
Stay tuned.
Always stay tuned.
We're gonna be here, so yeah.
But it would mean nothing. 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 You're not a woman or a girl.
Every year I'm searching for number one.
Excuse me, sir. Can I help you?
Yes, I found my number one. I'll take it.
And we're back. Thank you for sticking with us. It's still a man's world. I'm the Pickets man, Naik.
I'm Dario.
Forever, Jason.
And we're here talking about influences on black men. This particular segment, we're going to be talking about government and other races, how their influences affect black men. And I'm going to start you off, Dario. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Well, the thing is, you can look. The government more or less legislates everything that we do, our healthcare, our schools, and if you look regionally, even in this Western Hemisphere, the government has decided that they're going to give us history of the white man. You know, they're going to tell us that Christopher Columbus sailed across, you know, the ocean blue and he found empty lands inhabited with people. And
I don't know how that's possible.
And they teach. You know what's really scary about this? It's not that they put it out there. Putting it out there is fine. I mean, people write fiction all the time. I have no issue with that. But they put it in our schools.
Right.
They tell our children that this is what actually happened, that you can discover something that's not discoverable.
They make it into compulsory learning.
Yeah. It's indoctrination, and we learn it everywhere, and they put it out there. And it causes this subservient mentality from the black male, because every great accomplishment they have attributed to white men.
True.
Now, this is not a racist, bash the white guy kind of show, but you can't get away from the fact that, you know, water's wet.
That is true.
It makes no sense that all the heads of state, they always have this one Caucasian that's, you know, some kind of advisor for some reason. Or if an investor comes in, more often than not, if he has a certain skin color, there are certain questions that aren't even asked. You know, the due diligence drops, the level of expectation drops. Everything just, you know, flows to the no problem. He's got money.
And
He's got connections.
And even in commerce, and we see it a lot in our country. We see it with the whole onus on tourism.
Yeah.
Now it's weird that you have all these different races coming off of a cruise ship.
Correct.
Coming off of an airplane. They go into our capital. They're all coming from the same place. But then the onus is for you, the store owner or the store clerk, to gauge more to that person who doesn't have the same skin color as you.
Yeah.
Right?
But that's our market. But even, I mean, going, I don't want to say past that, but going in a slightly different direction from that, it's so much that's geared towards white. I mean, they dominate our viewing. Everything that you see on TV, it's whitewashed. You watch a movie that's based in Africa and it's all white actors, you know, and it's a lot of things.
Not only are they white actors, they're white producers.
Well, the producers can be anybody, but they're
True,
behind the
but
scenes.
more-
But how
exactly.
if I'm going to depict a rose, if I say a rose to you, you're gonna look for a red flower.
Exactly.
Now, if I say an Egyptian, you would think that you want to see a black person, but no, you're
they
gonna
don't
see.
show you black men.
You're gonna see Charlton Heston. You're gonna see
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson. It's crazy.
And Jason, you made a very, very good point. A lot of the things that we see on TV, they're produced by, if you want to call it, the real thing, white people.
Yeah.
So therefore, because they're producing the show, and I don't want to really stray away from what we were talking about. Do you think that because of how the government, the kind of subliminals that they do place within the system, that they do make it look, or but they indirectly to us, but directly from them, put this type of system in place where you as a black person can only strive to be this?
As a black man, because that's actually true. Because if you look at it, what we see is what we learn. What we learn is what we teach, right? And if I as a black man, I'm watching, okay, black man, most black people, you're thugs, you're thief, you're no good. As a young black man, I'm like, this is all we black men are.
Yeah,
This is the only thing they see us as. If they hear someone rob the place, was he black?
Was he black? Yeah.
What was his skin tone? What did he talk like? I'm like, a black man can have standard English base.
No, they can't.
So do you think that with other races, the influence is so strong that it's basically, I'm gonna use this word and I'm not afraid to say it, it's fading out, the blackness?
Oh
yes, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because look at it, our black men these days forget that they are black. Because even if you look at the UE students, right? You look, how many UE students have you really seen? We can bring it a bit local. How many black male UE students have you really truly seen, and have the one knowing them how they were before they went in? When you see them after a while, do they seem like the same individual you see?
Well, universities do change. Universities do change people.
Yeah, I mean,
character-wise.
you have to understand.
Hold on, what did you say they do what?
They change people.
They change people.
They change people.
They change people. But it's a stimuli. I mean, you get out of your roots that you were planted, and you get a different stimuli.
It's not always bad. What I'm saying is not that I don't have a problem with change, but when you change, why forget who you are?
Yeah, but who are you though?
Well, maybe they're going away and they discover who they really are.
You see, the thing is, unlike other races,
Are they white?
we were never taught who we were.
No, we were taught we were slaves.
Exactly. Every imagery that we got in school of black people, we were slaves. We were never in control of everything. So immediately we get subservient in our minds, because this is, even the image that they give us of Jesus is a white, blonde, brown hair in most images. If you read in the Bible though, he had thick locks and his skin was like bronze. But then you go into so many black homes in this Western Hemisphere, and they got a white Jesus. They got a white Jesus. Yeah, they don't have the straight white Jesus. They have that image of the Last Supper with the white Jesus.
Yeah, but that was painted by an Italian. So at the end of the day, we have to remember that a lot of the things that we as black people have learned in the coming up through history, we've basically learned at the end of a whip. We learned what religion we need to follow at the end of a whip.
Economics.
We've learned what type of education we're supposed to strive to follow at the end of a whip. We've actually learned to totally forget about everything
at the end of a whip
that basically made us from the end of a whip. So
we even forgot how to be communities at the end of a whip. Because if you look at the other races, even in our own local circles, the Asians stick together. You'd find a Chinese entrepreneur has a business, and another one comes in, he hires him. when he gets a little foothold, he gives him a loan, he puts him off. And
His seeds married his
the Lebanese
seeds,
do it,
and
the
they grow.
Syrians do
And not only
it.
that,
The black people don't do that.
They don't do that.
We were not taught to help one another. We see another black man getting up, we pull him down.
Crab barrel mentality.
You see a Lebanese, a Syrian, a Caucasian, an Asian with a nice car, a nice home. You don't double take on it.
No.
When you see a black guy, you're like, where you getting money from?
Yeah, for they sell drugs.
Yeah.
But what
It's
I
always
wanted
that.
to look at, right? What I wanted us to look at, right, is the way that we were taught in school of history. What have they taught us about Black history?
It's very short chapters.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's basically
only black history is slavery.
It's basically everything from West Africa into the Caribbean. Sugar, how sugar affected the Caribbean.
We sold ourselves into slavery.
1834,
All this man-
the abolition of slavery,
Crazy.
and this is where we are. And then 1981, Antigua became independent.
A lot of us don't
Antigua older than you?
Allegedly.
Yeah, really, come
Antigua older
on,
than
man.
you too?
Allegedly.
Come on, man.
But go
Even if
ahead.
Antigua's older than me, Antigua's older than you.
No.
So the island is not older than you?
Antigua born 81, born 76. Get it right. But go ahead.
Okay, the freedom of
Numbers
the island
don't
was
lie.
born in that.
Here we
The
go.
freedom of the island. The island was always there, but the freedom of the island came at that time. Right? And I want to look at the fact of how, as a man, what we are taught as to be black men. A black man, a strong, independent black man, has his own business, yes, right? But how do we come by our business? Right? They want to say, okay, if I see a black man owning a business, like Dario said earlier, how did he get his money?
Yep.
He must be selling drugs. He must be soliciting some kind
So
of. He
that-
must be doing some form of illegal activity.
Of course I look.
Really, we're black men. We are strong, but because of how society has placed us, we try to follow that trend and bring ourselves down to what society actually has us as. Why?
And society is not everybody. Society is the indoctrination of everybody by a few.
No, I have a problem with the fact that I know a couple of UE students who when they went away to different islands, especially like in Trinidad, they started getting these piercings. One person in particular told me that they pierced their nose. So they started wearing a nose ring, and weird enough, an Indian person living in Trinidad looked at them funny, and they were like, "Oh, you're following our style."
Yeah.
So then this person, because they had done their research on that particular, the nose piercings and the different types of African originated ornaments that people would do to themselves, like wearing chains in their mouths, like manipulated. Yeah, you should do some research on it. Yeah, they would hang gold from their mouth. They would adorn their noses with bones and with rings and stuff like that.
Spring the neck bracelet.
Exactly. They would do these type of things. And then when she brought that type of narrative back into school and showed it to this person, it started this big cultural divide.
Okay, divide.
And it not a discussion. It started out as a discussion, but it was more so, you're wrong.
You're wrong, and this is the right way to do it.
And I'm right. And the black person was the one who was wrong. And the Indian person, because they know they grew up. You see, the thing is, it's what we grow up in, what we see also. If you grow up and you see a place where, if you grow up and see something if you see a whole bunch of pictures on the wall with everybody, in this native type of dress or this native type of gear or, adornment, this is what you're gonna grow up and think was what it was from inception, but when we're not seeing that, when we're looking up on the walls and seeing like a hippie looking Jesus, what do we expect us to do,
All right, and on that note, we're gonna take a break. And when we come back, we're gonna let you know what we think.
When it would mean nothing, nothing. You're not a woman or a girl.
And we're back, and welcome to our final thoughts. And remember, the topic tonight was mind control over black men. Jason.
Mind control is there. Just need to know how to beat it by being yourself. Don't follow everything you see. Don't listen to everything you hear. Have your own opinion. Be different. Bottom line.
Nasty.
Okay, what I think about the whole mind control over black men thing, it's a real thing. Also, what I think people need to strive to do is what Jason says, be your own individual. Walk to the beat of your own drum. Be afraid to be expressive. Don't be afraid to be expressive. Don't be afraid to, to step out of the comfort zone. Don't be afraid to, color outside the lines. My thing is, right, society has already have, they already have their set blueprint for you.
Right.
What you need to do to actually be, remembered is to actually do something different, and don't, please, don't ever think that because somebody comes from a particular family, somebody comes from a particular race, somebody comes from a particular social set that you are beneath them.
True.
I mean, look how ugly Pickett's man talk to you on TV right now. Lord knows.
Big up Pickett's, man.
Pickett's, stand up.
For me, women, this is your responsibility. I'm charging you with this responsibility. Let your man be himself. Don't let him be the stereotype. Don't let him be like everybody else. Encourage him, nurture his personality. If he likes art, let him be artistic. If he likes music, let him be into music. If he likes butterflies, let him be into music. But let your man be himself. Let him be comfortable. Don't just buy into, everybody needs to be wearing this. Look at the guy outside the box. Let him be. Let us be. And you'll be happier for it.
Lord knows, we're not nearly condoning chaos.
No, I'm condoning chaos.
We're not condoning chaos.
Like
we are
condoning difference.
No, but we are condoning, expression. We are condoning,
be who you are.
Vibrance. That's what we're condoning.
Like yourself. I mean, if you like purple, wear purple. If you like
wearing purple.
I know
If you like wearing purple,
but anyway,
wear purple.
Wear purple.
But anyways,
do you. Always be strong enough to love who you are. That's the start of it. Knowing it's half the battle.
And don't drink Red Label when you want to drink black.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Don't ever settle.
Anyways, people, this is it, right? We want to thank you so much for staying tuned to this episode. I would want you to remember to do this very important thing. You need to share.
Like
and comment
on our Facebook page.
Yes.
It's A Man's World CVN. And every Tuesday on Flow Channel 100, that's Flow Channel 100, it's Caribbean Vibes Network. You can catch myself, Mr. Nasty, and Forever Jason, 8 o'clock at Tuesday, every Tuesday. Tune in and tell us that it's really a man's world.
It's a man's world.
Oh my God.
He went there. Pick and stand up and stay up.
Be yourself. Talk to your kids about sex.
That too.
I watched Dawn Order.
Oh, that sucks.
SVU.
All of them.
Oh,
The original was the best. Original was the best. No, the original.